Okay, Ashley, in chapter 13 of your book, you titled it The Butterfly Effect. Talk about the butterfly and how it compares to grace.
I think it was about 18 or 19. Decided to get a tattoo. And sometimes I often forget that I even have it because it's just on my shoulder. And it was of a butterfly. And at the time, I was just like, oh, a butterfly is cute. You know, you're young and you just want to rebel, kind of. So I got a butterfly, and during that time of writing, I just started to look up butterflies and how they come into being, the stages. I compared myself to the butterfly. It was just like me because I had to go from being one thing and shedding certain things, certain attitudes and certain perspectives to being another thing, and reminded me of grace because it was a stage for me. I had to go through different stages. I had to learn certain things. I had to accept me. I had to come to my truth. I had to accept certain things in life. And so it was easy for me to use the butterfly because you see them at one stage as being one thing, and then when they transform, it's something totally different and it's beautiful, but then you realize why they went through the stages that they went through.
And at the early stage with a butterfly, it's not what we would think of as beauty.
Not at all. Some of them be the ugliest caterpillars ever.
So you could never imagine that something like that could turn into something beautiful.
Yes.
So basically, while you was going through your stages of depression and stuff, you couldn't even imagine that this could produce something beautiful.
Not at all. Not at all.
Let's talk about the layout of the book. I think it was laid out pretty good. Was the layout of the book your idea or the publisher's idea, and the way that you titled each chapter?
Well, the titles definitely were me. That was how I was able to differentiate what goes in what chapter. The layout was hand in hand, me and the publishers. I published with Lynn Cross Publishing. That's Heather and Cornelius Lindsay. She's the founder of Pinky Promise, and he's the founder of Man Cave. And so we did it hand in hand. They were really amazing.
Okay, it was interesting in part 2 that you decided to end each chapter with a prayer. What made you decide to do that?
When everybody reads the book, they can see part 1. It was like I was a totally different person. Part 1, it was like I couldn't pray. I didn't read the Bible as much as I should have. In chapter 2, when I started to find myself, and so I was like, I want to end where people could have hope, and even pray those, even silently when they read, pray those prayers and see that there is hope for grace to take over. That's why I decided to end off with prayers in that book.
Can we expect another book from you anytime in the future?
Right now, I am writing a little. I'm not sure if it's a full-blown book as yet, but I think so. I just have to let the Lord lead me as to which direction we're going in.
Could you tell my viewers where they can find the book and how they can get in contact with you, or they can connect with you on social media where they can purchase the book?
Okay, so on social media, I have Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all under Ashley J. Darling. The book can be found in Amazon. You can get the Kindle version, hardback, paper version. There's also Logos Bookstore in Nassau. I think that's Harbor Bay Plaza. And then in Palmdale, next to RBC, there's a Bible and Book Center, and it's there as well. And then I also have copies. Also have a website where I blog a bit. It's ashleyjdarling.com, and they can check that out as well.
Chris, could you come and join us at this time? This is, of course, Chris, aka C-Dash. You all should know him. He's the husband of Ashley. Chris, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm pretty good. Feeling good.
As you know, I was just talking to your wife about her newly released book, Beautifully Grace, When Grace Takes Over the Impossible. And the book was very transparent, and talked about challenges that you both faced early in your marriage. Now, as a man and a husband, you know, people that know me, I'm pretty transparent. I like to be transparent. I believe in transparency. I believe in, you know, being vulnerable to help others. You know, telling my story to help others. But I gotta admit, you know, that's from my perspective. Like, but I don't know how I would feel if my wife was to expose me from her perspective. So tell us how did you feel about that, knowing that that's what she was gonna write about?
Well, first off, to be honest, I told myself I would never read the book.
Yeah.
So, but I know she's not everything, but I know she's basically writing.
Right.
And me and you were the same people, man. As a matter of fact, what you see in her, on her,
Right.
is a representation of me.
Right.
So if she is transparent,
Right.
most definitely that's a representation of me. So I'm one of the most transparent people you can find. Guys who I work with, people who I walk with, I try to be as transparent as possible, naked as possible. I don't want anybody to put me up on a pedestal or anything like that.
Right.
I like for people to see reality.
Right.
Once they see reality, they'll feel as if it's something they can grasp or something that's tangible.
Right.
So yeah, I had no problem, absolutely no problem with it, as I know what the purpose was. And I know it was all for the honor and the glory of God. It was for a real good purpose. So I approved it. I approve of it, even though I didn't read everything. Yeah. So I'm basically finding out everything.
Down.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks. Okay, Ashley, is there any encouraging words you'd like to leave with our viewers?
Yes, to everybody watching, especially women, I just wanted to let you know that God is able to do whatever it is that He said He will do for you. And He doesn't leave nor forsake us, even though sometimes He may seem silent and it may seem as if nothing is going your way or how you feel it should go. And I'm quickly reminded of Naomi, and I touched on it a bit at my event a few weeks ago, and how Naomi left comfort and she was kind of abandoned, so to speak, because her husband died and her sons died. And so everything that she knew and where she got and found comfort in and had status in, it was just taken away from her. But God still restored her. He restored her fully through Ruth. That's what I want everybody to remember, that even though there may be times where you feel as if you're all alone, or you're dealing with depression, or you've been abused and you feel as if nobody understands and nobody is there, but God is always there to comfort us and be our shield and our refuge. So I just want to encourage you, even as you go throughout your day-to-day, just to remember that He's always there, always with you. His grace never leaves you. His grace is not for a certain set of people. It's for all of us. It's for all of us. Once we embrace it, and once we embrace the love that He wants to show to you, I just want you to remember that you are beautifully graced for this journey. You are beautifully graced for this journey.